Eligibility for Basic Needs Monthly Cash Assistance. All registered refugees and asylum seekers in Jordan have an eligibility status for the Basic Needs Monthly Cash Assistance that UNHCR provides. This status is based on several elements, such as the information collected at registration and the home visit data. These elements are taken into consideration to determine the most vulnerable families that will be eligible for monthly cash assistance. UNHCR can only provide monthly cash assistance, winter assistance, or other types of assistance to a certain number of registered refugees depending on the availability of funds. The most vulnerable families will be automatically enrolled on the cash assistance program, depending on their vulnerability and the availability of funds. Families that become less vulnerable will unfortunately be taken off the list and replaced with other more vulnerable families. You can find out your eligibility status by calling the UNHCR helpline 06-400-8000 and selecting the option of cash assistance. The interactive voice response system will pull the data from your file, inform you of your status, and guide you through any needed actions, such as appeals or requesting home visits. To make sure that UNHCR has the up-to-date information on your situation and enable us to determine your eligibility status accurately, 1. Always have your asylum seeker certificate active. Before it expires, request a renewal appointment. 2. Provide all your documents to the registration staff at the time of a renewal interview, such as identity documents, educational certificates, divorce or marriage certificates, medical reports, etc. This helps UNHCR record correct and accurate data to your file. 3. If changes took place to your situation or family composition, make sure to inform UNHCR. 4. Always update UNHCR with your primary phone number, as this is the main tool to communicate crucial information to you, including delivery of assistance and home visits. Assessment home visits. A home visit is the first step for UNHCR to assess a refugee's situation in urban settings. UNHCR home visits are carried out by Mindset, our home visit contractor. How does UNHCR arrange for a home visit? 1. UNHCR refers your case to Mindset. 2. Mindset will call you to verify the information needed and to set a date and time for the visit. 3. On the day of the visit, you will be asked several questions that help in assessing your living situation in Jordan. Of course, all the data collected remain confidential and get submitted back to UNHCR. If you are registered with UNHCR and have never received an assessment home visit, or your last visit took place more than 2 years ago, you may request a new visit from UNHCR. All you need to do is call the UNHCR helpline 06-400-8000. The process can be completed through the interactive voice response without the need to speak to a helpline agent. When calling, the interactive voice response system will verify your data and the date of the last home visit, if any. If you are entitled for a new assessment home visit, the system will raise a request to the designated team at UNHCR who will follow up on the case. Keep in mind that the helpline interactive voice response is operating 24/7, and you may call at any moment. Appeals for cash assistance. If your eligibility status is one of the following 4, you may appeal for cash assistance. 1. If the last assessment home visit took place more than 2 years ago. 2. Or if your assistance was cancelled. 3. Or if you have been notified by UNHCR for cancellation in the coming months. 4. Or if your file was identified as not eligible based on the last assessment and registration data. To submit an appeal for cash assistance, 1. Call the UNHCR helpline 06-400-8000 and follow the interactive voice response without the need to speak to an agent. By choosing the cash assistance option, the system reads the eligibility status of your file and requests an appeal for your file by referring it to the designated team. 2. Or you may submit an appeal in person at the nearest UNHCR office or help desk. UNHCR will verify your eligibility status, taking into consideration any changes that might have taken place. All appeal requests are processed by UNHCR and the below actions are taken. 1. Appeals with expired home visits are sent for a reassessment home visit. 2. Appeals for files to which a home visit took place less than 2 years ago are cross-checked with the data contained in the file to verify changes that might affect the case eligibility. If there are no changes, the case will remain not eligible. If changes occurred that affect the file, the status might change to eligible. Please keep in mind that if your eligibility status changed after the appeal, this does not mean immediate enrollment in the cash assistance program, as assistance depends on priorities among all files and availability of funds. For further details, please check the UNHCR Jordan help site www.help.unhcr.org/Jordan or UNHCR Jordan on Facebook and Twitter at UNHCR Jordan. Please remember that all UNHCR services are free. If you have any complaints on issues related to fraud, please send an email to joramafp@unhcr.org. If you have any complaints on the conduct of UNHCR staff, please send an email directly to the head office in Geneva at inspector@unhcr.org.